everybody? It's time for another episode of Talking with Topher. This is episode 262. It is April 10th, 2025. And as always, I'm so happy to be alive. Before we get into anything today, let me start out the way I always do by thanking all of you out there for subscribing and doing what you do. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you are new to the podcast, remember to subscribe. If you want your opportunity to be a guest on the podcast or tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And the link tree, it's in the description below the video, along with all the links discussed on this podcast today. Now with all that out of the way, what's everybody? I love that. Did anybody else watch YMH Live 10? It was so good. It was so good. The production went up so much on this one. It was really good. We just finished watching Eliza Schlesinger. We just watched her comedy special. The Bill Burr one was really good too. We've been doing some TV watching. This is actually the day before my anniversary. So last week's episode was the start of the 6th year of this podcast. So here we go. And we're going to get into some Topher's topics. All right, everybody. So I've got some stuff going on here. Check this out. MIT among 50 universities facing federal investigations as part of Trump's anti-DEI campaign. So they are dismantling everything, including, education. I'm just hoping that my friend's not on the chopping block, that's all. That's one of the reasons why I'm pulling this one up. I am very curious to see what else they have to say. Maybe there'll be a list of other schools. I'm hoping SNU is not on there. That's what I'm really hoping on. But let's see what they have to say about MIT being on the chopping block.
MIT is among more than 50 universities that are being investigated as part of President Trump's campaign to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. So according to the allegations, MIT is included on that list for allegedly engaging in race exclusionary practices for their graduate programs. The New England College of Optometry, based in Boston, is also being investigated for alleged race-based scholarships and race-based segregation. The new investigation comes a month after the Education Department warned American schools that they could lose federal funding over race-based preferences. We've reached out to both MIT and the New England College of Optometry.
Oh, all right. Well, so far out of everything that's been going on, I think his job is safe. I don't know. I've been watching it like a hawk because he's been extremely worried about it, and I've just been curious to see whether or not that's the direction that they were going to go in. And so far, I'm not seeing anything that would cause him to lose his job. So for that, I'm thankful. Because at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to lose their job. That's just ridiculous. What a horrible predicament to be in. And I've been paying attention to the numbers and stuff, and it seems like the money spent to dismantle and find the money that has been stolen from us is still costing us more money in the end. So it does not look like this is saving us anything. So like I said, hey, look, I've got some hope, right? But you always have to look at somewhat of the reality. And when the Treasury releases documents on the amount spent to find the amount stolen, it doesn't balance out. And it doesn't seem to be showing that it saved us any money. So at the end of the day, like I said, if I'm completely wrong about this, I hope that nobody loses their job that didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? So I am all for dismantling, but at the end of the day, I wanted my money back. So if it's costing me more money, it ain't working. You know what I mean? So let's see here. Trump amid live updates. Trump signs funding bill to avert shutdown. So we go through this, I feel like 3 times a year. Is it 3 or 4 times a year? I mean, I guess there's a readjustment and they have to, I don't know, readjust our deficit or something and make room for everybody getting paid. And we avoided another shutdown. But I kind of don't understand it all, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to check this out, because like, why do we do this so often? Why are we always at risk of a government shutdown? You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't it just run all year round and then once a year they redo things? They do it quarterly? Is that what they do it? I don't know. Let's check this out for a minute.
Breaking news, President Trump speaking at the Department of Justice, the same department that just a year ago was pursuing felony convictions against him. The president laying out his vision for the DOJ and vowing to crack down on criminals and illegal drugs. He also rehashed some old grievances in his long-running criticism of the department.
They weaponize the vast powers of our intelligence and law enforcement agencies to try and thwart the will of the American people. They spied on my campaign, launched one hoax and disinformation operation after another, broke the law on a colossal scale, persecuted my family, staff, and supporters, raided my home, Mar-a-Lago, and did everything within their power to prevent me from becoming the president of the United States.
On Selena Wang on the North Lawn of the White House and ABC News senior justice reporter Jack Date. Selena, I want to begin with you. The president delivering his vision for this department today and really airing out those grievances we just heard.
I mean, Phil, this was billed as a speech about the president's vision of law and order in this country, but so far, a major portion of the speech has been focused on the president's personal grievances and also attacking his political enemies. In many ways, this feels like a typical Trump campaign rally speech. He's hitting on a lot of the same talking points, but it obviously lands a lot differently when it's delivered at the Department of Justice. This is clearly an emboldened Trump. Typically, presidents try to keep their distance from the Department of Justice in order to preserve its independence, but Trump obviously taking a very different approach. In fact, he has stacked the top positions at the Justice Department with his loyalists, sometimes even his personal lawyers, and he's ousted many career officials who were involved in cases against him. And what a difference just 1 year makes. 1 year ago, the Department of Justice was pursuing cases against the president, and they believe that Trump should serve prison time if he were convicted in that classified documents case.
I think
Well, I don't think they're going to have a case. What do you think? Do they get to reopen that case when he's not president anymore, or does he get to do what Biden did and excuse himself from everything? Because if he has the same option as Trump, if he has the same option as Biden, I just don't think he's not going to take it, right? Why would you not take it? You know, he was being... I don't know if you call it persecuted or if you just call it being sued left and right, investigated, whatever. But at the end of the day, he's got an option to pardon himself and everybody around him. So, I mean, at his age, he's going to be 82 when he's all done. So he'll probably end up taking the same road as Biden so that he doesn't wind up in court until he's 90. You know what I mean? I personally wouldn't hold it against him if he did do it too. I would do it. I'd definitely do it for myself for sure. Wild though. Wild, man. Just we're trying to dismantle everything, but at the same time what did somebody called it a slash and burn? I guess it's a business terminology when this happens. But you know, I did say that, you know, it is possible that the government needs to be treated like a business. So I don't know. I just hope this fucking does something for us. And I just don't think it's going to at the end of the day. I'm really worried that this is not going to do anything for us, and all it's going to do is hurt us more. Because I don't really understand all of it, you know? So even though I'm hopeful to clean out a lot of this bullshit that our money goes into, how much is it going to cost us to get it all done? And is it even going to benefit any of us when they are said and done? You know what I mean? So I'm just really hoping that they are. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he was being investigated. All these things were going on. He's kind of taken everything over. And at the end of it all, I mean, who wouldn't pardon themselves at that point so you never have to deal with it again? All right, well, Sean Diddy Combs pleads not guilty to pursuing indictment jury selection to begin May 5th. So this asshole, oh my God, that runs so deep. I mean, some of the dirtiest people we have found out today, you know? And, you know, you got Epstein, you got Weinstein, you got Diddy, right? And so his lawyer dropped him, and he now represents himself, I believe. And here we go. He is pleading not guilty to these charges, which obviously he's going to plead not guilty, right? That's what we all do. I mean, whenever I was guilty, I didn't go in there and say I was guilty. I plead not guilty until they finally got a NOLO out of me. So, you know, I'll take a NOLO over a guilty, even though it technically is a guilty charge, but you're not really admitting to it. It's a nice little loophole. It is. I've used it many times.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs appearing back in court today, pleading not guilty to some new allegations as prosecutors expand their sex trafficking case against him. Those new allegations outlined in 2 superseding indictments, including claims he forced employees to work long hours, threatened them physically, and forced at least one to engage in sex acts with him. Combs' trial is scheduled to begin in May. ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is here now with me. Aaron, Combs already pleading not guilty to previous charges. What more do we know about these allegations and any indication that Combs is how he's going to defend these charges? And then just before that, we were just talking, you said his appearance was noticeably different.
It was. He walked into court. He had his 2-piece khaki jail uniform on, no shackles. But when he walked in, immediately you were drawn to his appearance. He appears trimmer than he has, but his hair has gone almost completely gray. He has a close-cropped gray beard. We're all going a little gray, Phil.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was a noticeable change from
wow.
how he had looked in different court appearances. And he did. He stood up before the judge, said on his own, not guilty when asked how he pleads to the new indictment. And what it does is it expands the timeline of his allegedly criminal conduct all the way back to 2004. It adds 2 new alleged victims who are expected to testify. And prosecutors said today, Phil, they have as many as 20 other individuals prepared to testify about what they say Combs did. Not all of them will be called necessarily. The defense certainly wants to know who they are as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. And the prosecutors are also looking to force the defense to turn over more evidence.
Sure.
What are they looking for, and will they get it?
Well, the main piece of evidence we've all seen. It's the video from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles where Diddy is depicted dragging and kicking his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. There was a spat about that video in court today. Prosecutors said they have a strong argument to make that it is one of the key pieces of their case. They're going to fight to keep it in as is, as we've all seen it. The defense believes it's manipulated. They say it's a deceptive piece of evidence and does not show what we have all made it out to be.
Do they think it's prejudicial?
They think that it may have been edited, it may have been slowed down or sped up or out of order. The judge doesn't seem terribly sympathetic. He said, well, then let's get it to the right speed and put it in the right order, and then let's show it to the jury.
Okay, so he's saying that that film that we all watched of him beating that woman and dragging her onto the elevator was doctored, slowed down, sped up, chopped up, and played in the wrong order? Oh, what? Dude, yeah, send that to somebody, because they're going to get that film and they're going to be like, this is not doctored. This is the actual footage. Like, that was not doctored. And even if it was, how out of order was it? Like, what? He blatantly hit that woman and kicked her several times while she was down. So what was out of order? The dragging of the elevator. He's like, I did that before I kicked her, not after. Like, what? Like, even if you took that out of order and played it in different orders, it still doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. But, wow, up to 20 people ready to testify against him. Yeah, this guy, I think he's going to wind up doing a lot of jail. And, I mean, of course he's all gray now. He doesn't have a hairstylist anymore. That shit was colored. It's all colored. And now it's all washing out. He can't get it recolored. And now we're seeing how he actually looks because he wasn't allowing anybody to see how he actually looks. That was all makeup and hair dye, dude. Absolutely. So no wonder it was a drastic change to his look. Yeah, he doesn't have anybody dolling him up anymore, taking care of him. He's not going to the barber or whatever. You know what I mean? He's just sitting in a jail cell. I mean, it can't be that bad for him, but at least I don't believe it's that bad for him. I don't think he's in, like, Rikers, you know, or where is Rikers? Is that New York? I forget. Like, one of the bad prisons in New York. I bet you he's not there, you know? Where was Martha Stewart? Where did she get put? Because I bet you it's a facility like that. For some reason, I just picture rich convicts everywhere, you know, and they're allowed to mingle and talk and do whatever. It's not the same shit that I dealt with. So, but at the end of the day, you know, the lawyer dropping him, his change of appearance, pretty easy to kind of figure that one out. But I think without a lawyer, him trying to defend himself, and now we're trying to say that that video has been chopped up and changed and this and that. This guy does not have a leg to stand on. He is pulling at straws that I don't even think he understands. That capabilities of being able to determine that true or false is so easy. It's not even going to take 20 minutes to prove whether or not that film has been changed, edited, or is original, right? I mean, what? Chat will do it in a minute. So, I have talked about the cameras and the speeding and the stop signs and the running of them, right? All that good stuff. Well, say goodbye to speeding in this state. New radar cameras to fine every driver. So they're just going to set up these cameras on the road, okay? And they're just going to sit there forever. Well, until someone, you know, smashes into it. How much is that going to cost? You know how, like, if you cause so much damage to, like, a guardrail or something, like, you have to end up paying for it. And it kind of goes through the insurance and everything. How much is one of those cameras? Because if somebody hits one of those on the highway, I bet you that's going to be a pretty penny to replace. But that camera right there, so a city in northern Colorado introduced radar cameras to detect speeding and red light violations to improve road safety. The program intends to minimize traffic offenses and provide protection for all residents while using the streets. This article provides a complete review of the new system and its effects. So, speeding in the city, here's why you can't escape fines anymore. So they're equipped with state-of-the-art technology capable of recognizing red light violators and speeding vehicles. When a car speeds, the camera captures a picture of the car's plate in a like fashion. When a car commits a red light, the camera captures the infraction. The information obtained is used to penalize error motorists. The system makes every erroring driver accountable. The local government has emphasized that the system is fair and transparent. So you're not going to be able to fight this in court. You're not going to be able to. They are saying that it is fair and transparent, which means you will get a ticket in the mail and you will have to pay it. And if you fight it in court, you're probably going to lose, because it's much easier to point out the fact that, oh, are you up to date on your registration on that speed gun? Because if they're not, they have to throw the speed out, and it now avoids the speeding ticket if the police officer is not up to date on their registration of their speed gun. Little things like that you find out as you fight things in court. With this new technology, this AI, these cameras, everything that this shit is set up for, we have no fighting chance anymore. They literally take a picture. You were doing this. It's over. Pay the fine. Wow. Some residents are happy, but others fear these cameras are unfair. Yeah. Well, the only people that it's unfair to are the people that don't do what they're supposed to. That's who it's unfair to, right? I would have to assume that, like a police officer, that camera is maybe not going to consider you speeding until you're about 8 miles over the speed limit. Like, I don't think it's going to get everybody, like, say it's a 55. I don't think everybody going 56 miles an hour is going to get a ticket. I just don't. That would be crazy. I think everybody doing, 65 in a 55 or over, you're going to get a ticket. So pay attention to the speed. Do it, especially in northern Colorado. This is only going to catch on. Trust me, this does well. You're going to see this spread like wildfire. We're going to see these at stop signs. We're going to see them on all of our lights, intersections, back roads, highways. These things will be fucking everywhere. Why? Because every single police department will probably want these laid out wherever they are so that they can free up some of the traffic violations that they have to report to, and then they can concentrate on the more important and or violent issues that they have to deal with within their city. And I only use quotations on that because it's just an excuse not to have to deal with traffic violations in a sense. So, okay, so now AI is taking something away from our law enforcement. This is crazy, everybody. Is this even real? This is real. This is 100% real. I just read the article, but it doesn't seem it, does it? Month-old baby burned by knocked over hookah in Boston. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why was the baby anywhere near a hookah? What is wrong with you? This stuff really gets to me. So A month-old baby was burned after a hookah fell on the child in Boston Thursday. Boston police officers respond to a report of a burned child on Bunker Hill Street around 9:47, a department spokesman told Boston. Officers were told the 2-month-old baby had non-life-threatening burns after a hookah was knocked over onto the child. The child was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. There's been no arrests. Investigation is ongoing. I mean, you couldn't put the baby on the couch or a chair or in a pen. You know, they got the play pens. It's not like a dog kennel or something, but they have the play pens for the kids. Why were you smoking a hookah anywhere near your 2-month-old? Like, put that in a different spot. You know what I mean? I don't understand the way people think. You know, I just think it's kind of selfish in a way. This sounds more selfish than anything else. And to me, that's just a little ridiculous because of the same thing that I always say. You have a gift and you abuse it. And you don't care about it. And the hookah was that much more important, right? Blows my mind. It just blows my mind. And maybe it is jealousy. You know what? I'll paint myself green on this one. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous I don't have a baby to burn with a hookah. It's so stupid. All right, this next one here. Montana woman reflects on her miraculous survival after getting shot several times. Holy shit, man. That's crazy. You got shot several times? Who are you, 50 Cent? All right, check this out. Let's see what happened here.
A call comes over the local police radio. Possible double homicide.
A female 30 years old.
She's unsure if there's still any shooter inside the house.
Anybody inside? Come out! Police!
It's incredibly intense, and you can see that on all the body cam footage.
It's about as dangerous as it gets. Where are you at?
We have one female down.
Hey! What are you doing? Shoot!
I'm not gonna shoot you.
Where are you?
I'm right here. Can you see me?
No!
The video is chilling. She's asking you, are you really a police officer?
Yeah.
Don't hurt me. Don't shoot me.
Right.
Both Ashley and Lauren had been shot in the head. For Lauren, it was fatal.
Holy smokes. It changed everybody in that room.
She had been shot point blank in the back of the head.
People that are shot in the head don't have a high chance for survival.
Really just a miracle that the bullet lodged the way that it did.
And now, the woman who against all odds survived tells her story exclusively to 2020. What does she want you to know?
He still stays with you.
He'll never leave.
On
ABC. Doo-doo-doo. Isn't that how it goes? Is that how it goes, everybody? Doom-doom-doom. Oh, my God. Shot in the head and left for dead. I'm going to have to check this 2020 out. This one's got my attention. That's crazy. Woo. I want to know how that bullet was lodged. I want to know how she survived this. And I also want to know if she got her vision back. I'm very curious. So for those reasons, I'm going to probably end up watching it on Hulu after it's already played, to be fair. I don't wait for anything to come out on the day that it's supposed to. Who does that anymore? That's why I have all this streaming shit. So I don't have to wait till Friday at 8. I can watch it Saturday morning if I want. So this one here. Florida pizza delivery driver encounters 8-foot alligator in customer's driveway. Oh, what? Oh, boy. I would freak out is what I would do.
There's an alligator right under your car.
Oh, my God!
Get in the house.
Where's my pizza?
I'll take it to the back door.
Holy shit!
Go in the house.
There's a big alligator under my car.
Hey, ma'am, could you...
Oh, my lordy.
Here's your pizza. Okay, I'll take it to her.
Yeah, how much was it?
I have no idea. I'm not the pizza man.
Oh, well, you're a policeman.
Yes, I'm a policeman.
Oh, he's a police officer. The delivery guy couldn't deliver the pizza, so they had the cops do it. How much was it? I have no idea. I'm not the police. I'm not the pizza delivery guy. I'm the police officer, but I'll take the money. So where's the delivery guy? He was just like, fuck this. I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with an alligator over a pizza. This is not worth, I don't know. What does he get paid? $8.75 an hour? I don't know. $17.25. Oh my God. That was funny. I needed that. Oh my God. Well, hey, I would probably done the same thing. You got to call people in. You can't be letting that thing just roam around the neighborhood. A small child, a little dog. I don't even know if a cat could survive that, right? Although cats are quick. Cats are pretty quick. They're pretty smart. Dogs, not so much. Those little dogs, they're pretty dumb. They're pretty dumb, and they think they're really big. That's the funny thing about little dogs. Little dogs think they're big. Big dogs think they're tiny, which is so weird. But it's true. It is true how they act. But little dogs, man, they'll go up to that thing and just start barking at it, and they'll chomp. There you go. There's a little snack. But I just thought it was funny. I didn't realize that the police officer wound up finishing that delivery. That got it for me. That was pretty good. So, AITX, Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. This thing is to demonstrate complete ecosystem of AI-powered solutions at ISC West, including Hero Humanoid Robot. AITX to showcase next-generation AI security innovations featuring Hero, Sarah, and autonomous surveillance solutions at ISC West. Detroit, Michigan, March 12th, 25. In a bold move that challenges the traditional security industry, artificial intelligence, or AITS Solutions is unveiling its full portfolio of groundbreaking AI-driven solutions designed to transform how businesses and organizations approach safety, operational efficiency, and cost reduction. Despite raising far less capital than typical tech companies in this space, AITX has built a remarkable suite of integrated products that offer autonomous, real-time detection, deterrence, and response to threats. So this seems like it's something that was all put together to protect us from cyber hacking. Okay, going through these, AVA Gen 4 Autonomous Verified Access replaces the need for human gate guard by autonomously verifying and authenticating vehicles. Oh, shit. Rio Series Rosa Independent Observatory is our mobile surveillance unit that combines our off-grid security trailer with our Power Rosa platform. Oh, interesting. Rosa Responsive Gen 4 Observation Security Agent is an AI-driven surveillance system that leverages a comprehensive analytic suite to detect threats. So that's like ABP or APB, whatever I have for an ad blocker. Or is it more like the one I use to this thing here, a VPN? I wonder if it's more like a VPN. RadCam, a groundbreaking residential security camera enabling real-time conversations, intelligent detection, and response to threats. Oh, good. That's exactly what we need. Hero Humanoid Enforcement and Response Officer, Advanced Robotics with the ability to engage and respond dynamically in real time. That is a humanoid police officer, everybody. Humanoid police officer. What? ROMEO, Rugged Observation Assistance Mobile Electronic Officer, is our autonomous security robot for real-time mobile surveillance. So that's a surveillance robot. That's like the dogs. That's what the dogs are for, too. Roaming the grounds. The Rad Dog 2, LE2, is our nimble, AI-driven, quadruped robot designed to enhance law enforcement operations. So this is all for law enforcement. Oh, this is not going to be good, guys. This is not going to be good. I'm telling you. Who is going to be our Skynet? Because there's so many of them now. Which one is going to be the one? All right, so Sarah is speaking an autonomous responsive agent, automates security monitoring, responds to incidents in real time, 24/7 protection, firearm protection. RAD's AI-driven firearm detection instantly identifies visible guns, triggering real-time alerts for an autonomous deterrence. RADSOC, AI-driven security operations center for real-time monitoring, incident management, and autonomous responses. Rad Light My Way, AI-driven on-demand security design for personal safety with virtual escort capabilities, live communication, and more. And then HOAP, Homeowners Association Portal, is our smart access management platform that streamlines visitor entry for HOA communities. So this is more of the gated communities type of thing. So this is like some massive security thing all in one suite that will give your gated community the safety that it needs. That's what I'm getting from this. So this is something that is going to be sold to gated communities. You're going to see these robots and everything patrolling. You're going to see these cameras everywhere. And if someone's showing a gun or people are yelling at each other, this little humanoid or a roll-up robot is going to come up and be like, hey, is everything okay here? And you're going to watch the two humans go, oh, fuck this thing. And they're both going to beat it up, and then they'll go back to yelling at each other. Gonna be like, I detect a threat. Gonna be like, yeah, because we're both gonna kill you now. Like, this little humanoid robot's gonna pull up, please stop what you're doing. And they're gonna be like, no, not stopping what I'm doing. And then it's gonna do a kung fu kick and break his ribs. Or it'll front flip him in the face. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a fucking crazy world, man. Everything's going to be AI-driven. Cameras will be. You think they're everywhere now? Give it a couple years. These things are going to be everywhere. Whew. But let's get on to, this is one of my theories, right? So we're going to do, we'll do some Topher's theories now. Topher's theories. So I've been talking about how Greenland is melting and stuff like that, and they supposedly found a 300-mile machine or something that could have caused the world to freeze, right? Well, world's first solid-state AC cools room in 15 minutes with 0 emissions. So we now have scientists making ACs more efficient and a faster cool down with less emissions because of the amount of emissions that we're all producing when we are trying to cool down our house when it gets hot outside. My thing about this is, what if this is the beginning of our new cool down period? What if they design this thing and it goes awry? do we have the opportunity of causing another ice age, therefore repeating the same mistake that already happened possibly X amount of years ago in Greenland? I do believe so. I believe that there is a possibility that this could backfire on us. Because what if they decide to make units bigger? But then they're like, we can make a unit like this, and then they turn it on, and it doesn't shut off. And all of a sudden, they're like, it would take a little while, right? It's not going to be instantaneous. But what if it, like, goes haywire, and then, you know, there's an investigation. What was going on here? We got a cold spot, whatever, and the cold spot keeps growing. And then they send people down, and they're like, oh, my God, it's this cold in there. And they get all geared up to, like, go in, and you just see all of these scientists just frozen. Just frozen in front of the machine. And then they've only got matter of minutes before they have to get out of there because even their gear is not withstanding the cold that machine is pumping out. And there's no way to shut it off. Wouldn't that be fun? Like I've said, I am more worried about global cooling than I am global warming. I can find a way to cool off. I cannot find a way to warm up, everybody. Like, you can pile yourself under a mile's worth of blankets, and you will still freeze to death. Like, there's just no escaping that. It's so scary to me. But what if we are on the verge of it happening again? I mean, it is possible that it could. They changed the kilowatt scaling for cooling. I don't know much about ACs, but they made it more efficient. There was an innovative multi-cell architecture and graphene nanofluid, so they changed that from, I guess, what it was in our ACs now, Freon, I think. Record-breaking cooling power. So it stabilized indoor temperature of 70 to 72 within 15 minutes, despite outdoor conditions of 86 to 88. This surpasses the kilowatt scale threshold for the first time in elastocaloric technology, heralding new possibilities for large-scale adoption. Like I said, there it is, large-scale adoption, everybody. This is what we do. I'm telling you, history repeats itself. And the more we try to bury the history, it's because we don't want ourselves to know that we're repeating it. Because we all have amnesia, and we don't remember anything. Oh, my God. So we're going to freeze the world. Maybe. But here's another funny thing that's happening. The world is also melting right now. So what is it going to be? Is it going to be everything's melting, or are we going to try and freeze it again? I don't know. But you now have crevices on the Greenland ice sheet are growing. High-resolution 3D map shows crevice volume is increasing across most of Greenland ice sheet as it accelerates towards the ocean, which could affect future ice loss and sea level rises. Yes, because the more it cracks, the more it lets the sun in, the more it melts, the more it goes away, the more liquid goes into our ocean, the more ice breaks away, falls into the ocean, causing tsunamis and or flooding, everybody. Hooray! Look at these pictures, though. It is pretty crazy to see how much it is cracking and breaking up. It is. I wonder if we got like a side. Oh, I got a video. Even better, everybody. Check this out. Let's see what it shows us. Oh, yeah, look at the water over there. Oh, water. Wow. It looks like you know what it looks like? It looks like all my snowbanks that I had just before they disappeared. Holy shit, dude. That is enormous. And you can see a whole bunch. I wonder how big, like from up here, right? Because we're obviously in a helicopter. But when you looked and you saw the picture and they were scrolling, you see all these like little puddles, right? It looked like little puddles. How big are those little puddles? Like, how big is that? Is that like a small lake in the middle of that ice? And what was the temperature when the ice was holding, and what is the temperature there now? Because I bet you those are no small puddles. Those are probably small fucking lakes, right? Oh, wow, dude. We are in trouble if this... Well, you know what? I don't know if we're really in trouble when this all melts. I'm nowhere near the coastline, so I guess I'm not in trouble when this melts. Just like I wasn't in trouble with the storms that went through last night. We got a little trickle of a rainstorm here. 36 people died. Midwest? Was it the Midwest? I don't know. It just happened, so it's pretty crazy. But these storms that we're having, they are something. All right, so going deeper into it. Banned PBS Flat Earth documentary. Why was this documentary buried? Why does the establishment work overtime to censor Flat Earth truth? PBS aired this, then it vanished. The system doesn't want you questioning NASA, the globe lie, or the real nature of our world. They mock, censor, and deplatform because truth is dangerous to their deception. Watch, research, and decide for yourself. What else are they hiding? And again, this is for entertainment purposes only, everybody. But I want to listen to the PBS and see what it said. I love all this old footage because sometimes I remember it from when I was a kid.
It's a commonly held misconception that the Earth is a spherical object that revolves around the sun. But the fact is, of course, that the Earth is a circular dish surrounded by a barrier of ice that explorers have been attempting to penetrate for centuries. 2,000 years ago, an Egyptian scholar by the name of Eratosthenes performed an experiment that he claimed proved the Earth to be a sphere. However, there are serious doubts about the accuracy of his data and his scientific procedures. Dr. Leo Ferrari explains.
Oh, the Eratosthenes experiment is an experiment supposedly conducted in the 1st century, whereby this ingenious person was supposed to have proved, I say that in quotes, that the Earth was a sphere of some 4,000 miles radius. Eratosthenes one day noticed that the sun was directly overhead in Syene, whereas he noticed that on the same day, at the same time, the sun made an angle of 7.2 degrees to the vertical at Alexandria, which was some 530 miles away. How did Eratosthenes in the 1st century know what the sun was doing on the same day in two places which are 530 miles apart? One can take all those same data, knowing that the Earth is flat. In one place you have the sun directly overhead, and at another place, at the same time, at 530 miles away, let us suppose that it does make an angle of 7.2 degrees to the vertical. Then we have a right-angled triangle, which it can be easily shown that the sun is a sum of 4,000 miles up in the sky. These superficial, even, considerations show that it's impossible. The whole thing, it's a story, a fairy story made up and mindlessly repeated in textbooks.
Fortunately, not all scientific arguments are based on such questionable research. The Greek astronomer Ptolemy determined to everyone's satisfaction that the Earth is flat, circular, and the central body in the universe. His theory went unchallenged for 1,200 years.
Crashing.
Not surprising, really. One need only look around. However, the notion that it was some other shape gained some acceptance during the Renaissance. These were impoverished times. most writers, artists, and scientists could not support themselves through their work. They depended on the patronage of the upper class. Consequently, creative and original thinking men let their imaginations run rampant in order to attract support. In 1543, the Polish astronomer Copernicus suggested the bizarre notion that the Earth is a round ball that circles the sun. But his book emphasized it was only a hypothesis. He further avoided controversy by withholding the book for 13 years, and then by dying on the day it was published. So Copernicus' notion that the Earth was a ball you couldn't fall off of was readily embraced by businessmen. And when Magellan's crew claimed to have circumnavigated the globe in 1522, it was seen as a new piece in the scientific puzzle. But more importantly, it was seen as a strong psychological boost for free enterprise. It's also been seen as a huge publicity stunt.
Which is what I think almost everything is today. It's a publicity stunt. I mean, seriously, what else could it be besides a stunt? Everything is a stunt. Everything. You know, it puts it into perspective. It really does, because they've been absolutely, positively lying to us for so long, and they're still doing it. And there's so much evidence against it. And then you pull up stuff like this from, God, 30 years ago, and they were saying it then. And we're just reiterating it now. But it's wild to me that, you know, even back then, they were like, no, the shit in the books is wrong. All of this can be proven. Look at that. PBS going over the fact that flat Earth is definitely more plausible than round Earth. All right, so this one here. Where did the idea of using adrenochrome come from? Now, I don't know what adrenochrome is. You see here, they're showing everything is in the Bible. Sees the book of Jasper being referenced twice in the OT. Wondering why it isn't in standard Bibles. Starts reading the book of Jasper and instantly find out why they wanted it hidden. This was written over 3,000 years ago. In Jasper 76:18, Pharaoh is inflicted with plagues from God, and he asks his wife and men and sorcerers to cure him. His sorcerers then tell him if he uses the blood of little children unto his wounds, it would heal him. What? Pharaoh then sent his ministers to the children of Israel in Goshen and stole their babies by force. One child each day was killed for Pharaoh, totaling in 375 children. What is this in the original Bible 3,000 years ago? Realizes the elites are using the same tactics Pharaoh used to stay young and healthy. Okay, so this is more of that going into the realm of drinking baby's blood to stay young, and the vampires and elites that have been on the planet forever, right? Yeah, so I don't know, but the Bible has been around for a very long time. It has been rewritten many times now. So is it possible that they had it written out so that they could hold on to it for themselves, and people just found it way too disturbing at one point that was even practiced? But still, drinking baby's blood or putting baby's blood on your cuts to help heal you faster, that just sounds insane to me today, because it's not physically capable of working that way. I don't even think drinking the blood does anything for you. Now, if you're doing a blood transfusion, okay, I'm listening, Because if you're doing a blood transfusion, that's completely different. That means you're pumping out old blood and you're replacing it with new young blood, which can and has proven to rewind people's time clocks. There is a father and son that have done it. And that father and son, that father did it with his father. So his father, I think, was in his 70s. He's in his 50s. He gave his father a blood transfusion of his blood. And then his son, who was like 20-something, gave his 50-year-old father a blood transfusion. I believe there was a doc on it on Netflix. I can't remember the guy's name. He looks like a doll. It's creepy. But his skin is so tight, and he does all of this, biohacking shit. And the blood transfusion with the younger blood from his son was one of the newer things that they actually did. I think they had a podcast on it too before the doc came out. But now we're talking. Now I'm understanding. If you're just drinking blood and smearing blood on wounds, you're just more of a psycho to me. There's more to that than just the act itself. There's something mentally wrong with that person. But if we're actually talking about blood transfusions, okay, I'm listening, because that has proven to actually show that it works and can rewind aging and extend your telomeres pretty significantly. So I don't believe in the vampire shit, right? All right, so the United Nations New World Order Plan, Agenda 21.
At its core, Agenda 21 is about control. Control of the land, natural resources, and entire populations.
Sound familiar?
When you boil it down, there are 9 basic tenets of Agenda 21. Move citizens off private land and into urban housing. Create vast wilderness spaces inhabited by large carnivores. Eliminate cars and create walkable cities. Support chosen private businesses with public funds for sustainable development.
What?
Make policy decisions that favor the greater good over individuals. Drastically reduce the use of power, water, and anything else that creates carbon pollution.
Yep.
Use bureaucracies to make sweeping decisions outside of democratic processes. Increase taxes, fees, and regulations. And finally, implement policies meant to incentivize a reduced population.
And does any of that sound or feel familiar from today? What's going on? So, I don't know. It seems like that's kind of pointing the finger at Trump because of the simple fact that, he's doing all these things without the Democrats and going over their head or just doing whatever he's doing. And so a lot of people are on this page that Trump is definitely the end of everything. The last president is something that keeps popping up. That just sounds crazy to me because he's going to be 82 when this is over, when his 4 years are up. So, no, once you're in your 80s, man, it's downhill time. It's downhill. It could be downhill fast. So, I don't know if he's going to be our last president. Democracy, I don't think, is dead fully, but the Democrats are definitely dying. Well, they kind of killed themselves, too. So, their choice, right? Their choices have put them in the position that they're in today. But so much of this Agenda 21 is happening or has happened or is in the middle of happening right now. And it just blew my mind because I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is actually happening. We're living through some of this shit right now. Will all of it come to fruition? All 9 of them? Probably by the time that Trump's done. So I don't know what kind of future that holds for all of us. But it doesn't give us, that much time. 4 years goes by fucking fast, everybody. So hold on to your seats. This is going to be a wild ride. Now, this is Alex Jones. 21 years ago, in under a minute, he covers the globalist agenda, cashless society, open borders, socialized healthcare, and global pandemics. This is wild, dude. This guy, 21 years ago he said this, everybody.
Yes, there have been oligarchies throughout history.
Look at how young he is.
Today, in 2002, there is a tyrannical organization calling itself the New World Order, pushing for worldwide government, a cashless society, open borders, total and complete tyranny. And by creating open borders where there's no national sovereignty and only global bodies that control all the resources, by centralizing and socializing health care, the state becomes God, basically, when it comes to your health. And then by releasing diseases and viruses and plagues upon us, we then basically get shoved.
Absolutely wild, dude. This guy has been calling this shit for a long time. But, we need to, look and listen to everybody. If you're shutting this off because I said one thing and you're not listening to the rest of it, you're not getting the whole picture. And the reason that you're not doing that is because you can't deal with anybody else's opinion except for your own. And I really do feel bad for a lot of the people out there that have to go through that, because it's so much easier to be open to your own ideas, be open to everybody else's ideas, and be able to change your mind and let your, all your choices don't have to be solidified and forever. You can change your mind whenever you want, and you can be for something one day and against it the next. All right? There's no rules to how we're supposed to feel. So love the ones you're with, and don't let this shit get in between anything, because at the end of the day, we really have no control over any of this. We're all just here for the ride, and I believe that that's like the one thing they can't take away from us. So don't throw it away for them, because they don't give a shit that you threw it away. They just don't. So at the end of the day, I make sure everything else is good within my friends and family, because they're the ones that I'm going to need when I need them. You know what I mean? So Alex Jones, doing it again, sir. Doing it again. 21 years later, he called this shit. All right. So thank you again for subscribing, watching, doing everything that you do. Thank you for being here for the beginning of 6 years. This is the second episode in, and it's just been incredible. And I just really, really thank all of you out there, all my new subscribers. Thanks for joining. I didn't even know people were still subscribing. Oh, I've just been a mess lately. I work too much and I don't have enough time. So, but thank you. Thank you all for showing me that, this is worth still doing today. And then, of course, if you're new to the podcast, remember to subscribe. If you want your opportunity to be a guest or tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And don't forget about that Linktree link. It's the easiest way to find everything TWT. It's in the description below the video, along with all the links from today's episode. And of course, I hope everybody out there has a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you later.